Who's the best shooting guard in the NBA right now? There are three guys in this debate since the reigning king of the position. James Harden hasn't come back looking like his former MVP self and has also been playing the point guard position more recently. So starting two guard titles, the three-man race between Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and Zach Lavine. All young players, all with tons of talent, who have already accomplished being named an NBA All-Star. I originally also wanted to put Bradley Beal in this discussion since he's been a top scorer in the league for a while, but he hasn't been as great this season, though he has been getting better, or he has been doing better recently. Another guy I obviously would love to put in this debate is Anthony Edwards, but the man is still very young, still trying to accomplish more, and is still working on establishing himself more in the league. I do think he will be in this debate sooner rather than later. Honestly though, I'm surprised that not a lot of people are talking about this debate considering how close it is between the three players I mentioned. But off rip, I gotta eliminate Devin Booker. My reasoning, he hasn't been as good as the other two players this season, though I do think he is still in this debate. There's been a clear gap recently between him and the other two. I mean, just looking at the numbers, though he has a higher three-point percentage at a whopping 42%, he has a lower points per game, true shooting percentage, PER, win shares, effective field goal percentage, VORP, win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, offensive box plus minus, PI, which is player impact estimate, which I've never heard anyone use that stat, but I'll just put it in there. Offensive win shares, offensive rating. There seems to be more of a gap between him and the other two. I will give him credit for having a higher defensive rating and defensive box plus minus and a higher defensive win shares than Zach Lavine. But I don't think having a better three-point percentage and defense is enough for me to put him over these guys, especially considering he's not like locked down or anything. He's just not that bad. But if you think Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league, let me know why in the comments down below. Now that I've established why I don't have Devin Booker, let's talk about Zach Lavine. So Zach Lavine is actually a more efficient and higher scorer than Donovan Mitchell. He's shooting 61.4% true shooting and 50% from the field, 41% from three, and 84.6% from the free throw line. He's also averaging more points than Donovan Mitchell at 26 points per game. He's currently 6th in points per game in the NBA at the time of this recording. Of the top 10 players in points per game scoring, he ranks 4th in true shooting percentage, only behind LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Nikola Jokic. And out of the top 10 players in points per game scoring, he ranks 3rd in effective field goal percentage with 57.8%. I should also mention he ranks 6th in points per game in the NBA at the time of this recording. I already mentioned that, but whatever. The Bulls right now are the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and right now the East is having one of its most competitive years since maybe like the 1980s. Zach has helped them to a 23-10 record with a 69.7 win percentage. Though you could say he isn't the best player on his team, you could also say the same thing for Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker, though I wouldn't agree with those takes. Now let's talk about Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is 7th in points per game scoring in the league at 25.8 points per game, only 0.2 behind Zach. He's also averaging 4 rebounds and 5 assists with 46, 34, 87 shooting splits for a true shooting percentage of 57.7% and effective field goal percentage of 54%. Though his efficiency isn't as good as Zach's, he's still around. He's still like above league average. At least I believe he is. And also right now the Jazz are 26-9 with a win percentage of 74.3. So now to answer the question of who's the best shooting guard and who's better, me personally, I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell. Now let me explain my argument. So for Donovan Mitchell, he's actually better in almost every advanced statistic, or at least I believe in every advanced statistic, besides the ones that involve scoring and efficiency. And in those ones, he's actually only barely behind Zach Lavine. For advanced stats, he has better than Zach. There's VORP by 0.1, there's PER by 1, win shares by 0.6, win shares per 48 by 32, or 0.32. There's defensive box plus minus by 1, box plus minus by 0.5, and defensive rating by 3. And even though Donovan Mitchell isn't averaging as many points as Zach Lavine, he actually averages more points per 100 possessions and per 36 minutes. Donovan Mitchell is also a better defender than Zach Lavine, though he's not like a great defender still. I'm just saying he's still better than Zach Lavine, so that's why I'm going to take him over Zach Lavine. My fourth reason for taking Donovan Mitchell is how great of a playoff performer he is. Now, I'm not knocking Zach Lavine for not being in the playoffs and whatever. I'm not like holding that against him. But the thing is, if I'm picking someone to be the best 2 guard in the league, I want that person to have, I feel more comfortable picking someone who has actually been in the playoffs and has been really good, like Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell just last year averaged 32 points in the playoffs over 10 playoff games with 45, 44, 83 shooting splits. And my last reason for why I'm picking Donovan Mitchell is their on-off numbers. The Jazz have an offensive rating of 121.6 with Spider on the floor and 112.9 with him off. That's a plus 8.7 improvement. And their offense goes from a good offense to an insanely good offense. The Bulls have an offensive rating of 111.9 with Zach Lavine on the floor and an offensive rating of 115.2 with Zach Lavine is off the floor. So they actually get better according to the on-off numbers. Not only that, they're also plus 7 against opponents when Zach Lavine is off the court versus plus 2.6 when he's on. Now, we know that it's incorrect to say that the Bulls are worse with Zach Lavine, but comparing him to a guy who makes his team significantly better when he's on the floor, it's hard to take Zach in that discussion. I should mention that when Spider is on the floor, the Jazz are plus 11.9 against their opponents versus plus 8.5 when he's off. They're still good, but that's a plus 3.4 improvement. Spider just makes his team even better. So in conclusion, Donovan Mitchell is the best shooting guard in the NBA, and though he isn't as efficient as Zach Lavine, he's basically the same points per game. He actually scores more points per 36 minutes and 100 possessions than Zach Lavine. He's one of the best playoff performers in the league. He's more impactful to his team, and he's statistically better according to advanced stats. Also, Zach Lavine is a worse defender. Hopefully now I can see why Donovan Mitchell is the best 2 guard in the league. I just hope come playoff time the Jazz will do better, so maybe we can see Donovan Mitchell in the NBA Finals soon. But now if Zach Lavine does end up being better later on in the season and in the playoffs, then I will admit that I'm wrong. But in this moment, right now, it's Donovan Mitchell. Alright, so that's it for this video. But real quickly, I just want to say Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you to everyone who supported me in 2021, man. I gained like 148 subscribers last year. I started with like 44, and then now I'm at like 193. So yeah, thank you to everyone who subscribed, who liked my videos, who commented. I appreciate it all. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and for, liking my content. I really appreciate it. But I also want to give a quick channel update. So this next year, or it's this year now. So this year, I think I'm going to be doing some videos not related to basketball, like, movie reviews, movie tier list, music tier list, stuff like that. But if I do that, I'll be still posting basketball videos with the same kind of consistency. It'll just be like, I'm also doing that other stuff occasionally as well. Anyways, though, like I said before, thank you guys for watching. I'll just catch you guys in the next one. Happy New Year. Goodbye.